All right, guys, we have been working a lot on your personal narrative story. We've taken time and we have taken our big story and focusing on a small moment of our day that happened to us to write about. Well, today we are going to get ready to start your rough draft of your personal narrative story. Notice that it is lesson 6 and 7. So you actually have 2 days to get down the rough draft of your story. Now, don't be like, oh, I'm going to start writing it right now. Hold on. Wait until this video is over so that you know that you are following the procedures to my expectations of what I would like you to do and how I would like you to do that. So, make sure you have your writer's notebook. Turn to the very first clean page, and we're going to go over some procedures for writing your rough draft. So, your rough draft procedures. Well, first of all, make sure that your writer's notebook that you're putting your rough drafts in are the ones with the spiral, okay? They've got the little spirally. It's not the composition book, okay? That's for final copies. And when you open up your notebook, you will see that there is a big space at the top, all right? We're going to be writing in that space. So at the very top of your first clean page, I want you to write title. Now, I know that sounds silly, but all I want you to do is put title. That way, when you look at that, you're like, oh, I have to put the title at the top of my page. Then all the way either over on the far right side or the far left side, I want you to put your first and last name and today's date. Now, if you want to write out, like today is September 14th, 2022. If you want to write out the whole word September 14th, 2022, you can go ahead and do that. Or you can use what we call the abbreviation of the date, where you put the month, the day, and the year with a slash in between. So it would be 9/14/22. Okay. So title, the word title at the top of your page. In one of the corners, either the right or the left, your first and last name and today's date. As you are writing your rough draft, in pencil only, no exceptions, not colored pencils, pencil only, you need to make sure that you skip every other line when you're writing your rough draft. Now, with your rough draft, you are able to write on the back of your page, okay? And again, you're skipping every other line. This is very, very, very important. So even if you have like one more sentence to do, turn your page over and write on the back, okay? Make sure that as you're writing your rough draft, that you are using capital letters and punctuation, and that you are breaking your writing into paragraphs, okay? Don't write just one big blob down front and back of the paper, because then when you go to reread it, you're going to be like, oh my goodness, this is a mess, and it will be. So make sure that you are breaking and indenting in for your different paragraphs. And always use the rubric to see what you're going to be graded upon. Now, I will go over the rubric in another lesson. Today and tomorrow, you're just going to focus on writing your personal narrative story. Remember that a personal narrative story is a true story from your life, okay? You're going to describe the event or experience that happened to you. You need to tell in your story when it was, okay? When was this? Was this 5 years ago? Was this last month? Was it when you were 3? Was it when you were 10? When did this happen? Okay. What time of the year was it? When I was 5 and it was winter time, okay? Tell when it was, okay? who are you with? Like, you're gonna have to describe those. Now, if you were with like 100 people, summarize it. Only talk about the main people who were with you when something happened. Okay, whatever your personal narrative story is about. But you need to mention that you were with someone else. If you were. If you weren't, make sure you mention, like, I was by myself. Like, this happened and I was by myself. Okay, where were you when this happened? Okay, were you at a birthday party? Were you at grandma's house? Were you in the creek? Were you at the swimming pool? Were you in your kitchen? Where were you? And the most important part of the whole thing is you have to tell me what happened. Otherwise, I'm going to be like, I have no idea what happened in this story. Okay? Describe what happened. Now, as we look at how to write a personal narrative, you will have 5 paragraphs. The first one is going to be the opening sentence. And then you have the body, which is in yellow here. Detail, detail, detail. First, next, last. And then your closing paragraph. Now, for today's rough draft story that you are writing, today and tomorrow, we're only going to focus on your story. We're not going to worry about your opening sentence or opening paragraph or your closing paragraph or sentence, okay? We're not going to worry about that. All I want you to do is focus on the details. What happened in your story? 3 paragraphs. First, next, last. We will be talking about your opening sentence or paragraph and your closing opening sentence or paragraph next week, not today. So your rough draft that you are going to be turning in 2 days is just the body of your paragraph. First, next, last. 3 paragraphs. So, we're going to, there we go. We're going to talk about some sentence stems. And I want you to write this in your notebook. The same page that you have title and your first and last name and today's date, I want you to write the word introduction, okay? So these are just starters, like if you're like stuck on, what am I going to write about? These are great starters to start your sentences, and then you kind of fill in the rest. So we have our introduction. We have the body. Notice, here's your 3 paragraphs. First I, next I, last I. Okay, those are your starters for those 3 paragraphs in the middle. And then closing is down here. And again, we're going to talk about that next week. Now, what I want you to do is, let's see how I can add this. It's not going to let me do it. Okay. So, what I want you to do is, I can make the title, like introduction, body, and closing. Like, I can make that font bigger. Font is the way the letters look. But you are going to be writing in your notebook. So, you're going to be writing introduction and then bullet 1, 2, 3, body, bullet 1, 2, 3, closing, bullets 1, 2, 3. Okay, and you're going to write that down. But to make this stand out, what I want you to do is I want you, when you write the word introduction, I want you to put a box around it, put a box around body, and put a box around closing. That way, those 3 words stand out. So that if you're like, okay, what is my body? Oh, there it is in the middle of the page. First I, and I'm going to write my sentence. Then the next paragraph, next I. I'm going to write my paragraph. And then last I, and you're going to finish your paragraph. Okay? So, next week we're going to focus on the ending and the engaging beginning and the conclusion of your story. And when we are finished with the body, or when you are finished with the body, your 3 paragraphs, you are going to take a picture and you're going to upload it at the bottom of this lesson today. Okay? Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. 2 days to do that, okay? 3 paragraphs. All right. If you have any questions, please message Mrs. Pluta, and I can help you out, or ask me during Zoom, and we can talk about it, because 9 times out of 10, if you have a question, so does somebody else. Okay? So, have a great day. 3 paragraphs. You're only writing the body. First, next, then. Or first, next, last. However you want to word it. All right. Have a great day, boys and girls.